Nostradamus is either the most profound prophet of all time or the biggest con man of all time. I'm your host Andrew, and here are your top 10 scary Nostradamus predictions for 2022. Starting our list right at number 10, we have the fall of the European Union. Amid the invasion of Ukraine, tensions in Europe are rising and most of the peace is in shambles. It seems that every war starts in Europe, so a collapse of the entire European Union is very possible based on the current events. In one of his quatrains, he says, quote, "Sacred temples of the Roman time will reject the foundations of their own foundation." Many believe he is referencing the Treaty of Rome, which essentially founded the Union in the first place. The Union is meant to promote peace, values, and the well-being of its citizens. Without this, Europe is just a bunch of countries that hate each other. That happened in the past, and look how that turned out. Boom, World War I, World War II, the French Revolution, the Russian Revolution, wars for Italian unification, the list just goes on and on. At our number 9 spot, we have the invasion of France. Est-ce que je peux aller aux toilettes? That's pretty much all I know from France. But Nostradamus knew way more about what would happen to Paris in 2022. In his 1555 book, Les Prophesies, he predicted, quote, "Blue head shall white head harm in such degree, as France good to both shaller amount." He also claimed in this that the enemy would be coming from the east. The Ukraine-Russian war is still ongoing as far as I know, and Russia is technically to the east side. So it could be a foreshadow of yet another invasion, or could it be another setting for the next world war? Stealing our number 8 spot, we have a solar storm. If you know nothing of space and its horrors, let me introduce you to a solar storm. There are literal changes in the sun's atmosphere. These changes cause huge bursts of energy like solar flares, which could send streams of electrical charges and magnetic fields towards Earth at a speed of 3 million miles per hour. Well, Nostradamus said that these would affect us in 2022. He said, quote, "Like the sun, the head will seal the shining sea. The live fish of the Black Sea will almost boil." Nostradamus predicted a solar storm of unprecedented proportions, the liquefying of the poles, and a rising sea level. This sounds pretty terrible, especially since we had a huge solar storm in 1859 known as the Carrington event. It's just lucky that we were not a technically advanced civilization, so we didn't have to rely on that. But this solar storm still sent electrified gas and subatomic particles towards Earth, which disrupted telegraph networks and even caused the northern lights to light up the whole world. Let's hope this one doesn't come true. At our number 7 spot, we have asteroids. Nostradamus and every other prophets have made countless predictions regarding asteroids every single year, so you know that one year they may actually have it right. But let's just hope not. I mean, there are hundreds of thousands of asteroids flying towards us, so not to scare anyone, but eventually we will be hit by one. In one of his predictions, Nostradamus said, quote, "Fire do I see from the sky shall fall." And he continued this by saying, "The cause will appear both stupefying and marvelous. Shortly afterward, there will be an earthquake." There is no doubt he's talking about an asteroid coming down on Earth, but we still don't know if that will mean if it will be an extinction level asteroid or just a small meteor shower. But what I do know is that this prediction is not anything good. And to our surprise, there's a potentially hazardous asteroid named 1989 JA that is supposedly around 1 mile long and is estimated to come close to Earth. But who knows? It could change its direction and come straight towards us. Sadly, at our number 6 spot, we have a nuclear warfare. Nostradamus said the world will go boom. Jokes aside, because this is one that's definitely more serious than that. The prediction of nuclear warfare happens every single year, but for good reason. We have so many nukes with so much tension between each country. I could just picture every single government hovering over their hand above the nuclear button. You would think after the World War II bombings of Japan that humanity will find more peaceful means of warfare, but I guess not. Nostradamus predicts that the nuclear warfare will commence in the year 2022 with some pretty harsh implications. He said that this type of warfare will not only change the climate with its destruction, it will also change Earth's position altogether. Moving the Earth's position is not good by any means. Does this mean that we'll be closer to our neighbor planets? If so, we are all doomed. Right in the hub of our list, we have World War III. With all the increased tensions in Europe, World War III seems very possible. All it could take is one country to attack a country with many allies, such as NATO, and there we go, World War III. Well, Nostradamus predicted this as well. In his quatrain, he said, quote, "A horrible war which was being prepared in the West. The following year, a pestilence will come. so very horrible that young, nor old, nor animal may survive. In view of the current situation between Russia and Ukraine, many experts are saying that World War III has already begun. And it's no surprise, all the world wars have started in a specific area and brought every nation for its help. In another one of his passages, he said, quote, "The enemies will take a maritime city, hunger, fire, blood, plague, and a double dose of all disasters." This maritime city could be Ukraine, which was invaded by Russia. At our number 4 spot, we have the golden period. This is a very huge prediction because this could mean peace and love for a very long time. So let me elaborate. Nostradamus is not the only person who predicted the golden age, so this makes it a little bit more believable. He claims that we are currently in the midst of a period of change, destruction, and evil. This period started from 2019 and it will come to an end in 2025. After that year, he says humanity will experience a golden age where humanity is thriving with little to no issues or even conflicts with one another. It's said that after 2025, a new world order will be issued which will help humanity find peace amongst one another. Don't know about you, but I have mixed feelings about this one. On one end, like, yay, peace, love, prosperity, yeah. But what will this new world order be? And what will happen between 2022 and 2025, since we have 3 years more of pain and destruction? All the way at our number 3 spot, we have the rise of artificial intelligence. Technology has evolved so much over the last few decades that it's hard to predict what developments will be made one year to the next. This makes it even more impressive that Nostradamus appeared to hypothesize about artificial intelligence about 5 decades ago. In his book of predictions, he said, quote, "The moon in the full of night over the high mountain, the new sage with a lone brain sees it. By his disciples invited to be immortal. Eyes to the south, hands in blossoms, bodies in the fire." According to Sky History, the passage references an immortal sage. This sage, dear friends, could mean artificial intelligence, which is something that has evolved over the last decade. There appear to be many forms of AI produced nowadays, ranging from self-driving cars to self-talking robots. But who knows if any of these will backfire on humanity. I've seen iRobot, so I'm a firm believer of this. At our number 2 spot, we have a year of inflation. According to Nostradamus, he claimed that 2022 will be the year of inflation. He says, quote, "The copies of gold and silver inflated, which after the theft were thrown into the lake at the discovery that all is exhausted and dissipated by the debt. All the scrips and bonds will be wiped out." In this prediction, he claimed that the inflation will spiral out of control and the US dollar will collapse, causing things like gold, silver, and even cryptocurrency to become assets for the future. All the way at our number 1 spot, we have worldwide hunger. Another scary prediction made by Nostradamus claims that the increase in prices for food will cause worldwide hunger. The prediction said, quote, "No abbots, monks, no novices to learn, honey shall cost far more than candle wax. So high the price of wheat, that man has stirred his fellow men to eat in his despair." Basically, he claims that global famine will be caused by inflation. Mass starvation will cause panic all over the globe. People left and right will be fighting over natural resources. It's the type of thing that would cause all of us to go back to our natural instincts of survival of the fittest. So it doesn't sound too appealing for many of us. Well, there we have it, our top 10 scary Nostradamus predictions for 2022. Did any predictions scare you, or are you still a skeptic? Let us know in the comment section below. I'm your host, Andrew, and I hope you have a scary day.